Good evening. My name is Jack Gallagher, and I will be presenting an industry's case study on exploring record label ownership and artist management. So, my dream job is to be like an owner and a manager of record label, you know, branding, developing, marketing my artists in a transparent way that, bypasses most politics that are involved in record labels. I want to completely bypass that and just focus on creativity and, what the artist wants to put out is what the artist wants to put out. And, if they have a message that they want to convey and get across, they should be able to do that without, the owner or someone else in that label being like, actually, I don't agree with that. That's not, we're not going to support that. It should be more of, if you just need marketing assistance, if you need, you need to be managed by, a label, what I'm saying? You should be able to, have a say in what you put out because it's you. And so what's happening is I see a lot of artists who, they become the face of the label instead of, themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do everything the label wants them to do, put out the music and do the collabs, but is it what they want to do as an artist, or is it just shrouded in money? So is it, and that's why that is my why of why I want to do this career, is because I see a lot of artists who have been you know put into shambles and their life ruined over catalog that like for instance like Michael Jackson. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to create a better alternative that, what I'm saying, doesn't treat the artist as pawns, product, insurance money, such and such. So that is the why. Also, the inspiration behind my path is, seeing the negative impact, like I was saying, in the artist. So that's just a big deal in my opinion. So what I want to do as a stepping stone is be a studio manager so I can learn the tips and tricks of, the industry and real life stuff, what people are experiencing every day, um, maybe common things that go wrong in the studio so I know what to prepare for, when I want to do this on my own. Talking to the artists, networking with them, talking about issues in the industry or et cetera, et cetera. Well, whatever it could be, that is a very solid thing for me to explore as a job, and I think that's what I really want to do. So that's I kind of really explained how the skills support my dream job, because it's just adding to the experience list of my experience in that area and field. So a salary for an artist manager is anywhere from 40 till 65 on average, and then if you have some crazy job that, is like a high end studio, you might get a little more. But, that's kind of just around what it is. Um, Nothing too crazy. But that goes into my next career, which is more of a parallel career. And that is my professional violinist career. And that is, um, very important to me because it's been there all my life. My violin, I've played there for 14 years. Um, and I can, that is how I express myself through music, is through the violin. I can play a lot of things and, you know, play with passion, I would say, because you can play concerto, you can play a hymn, you can play any type of song, but if you then play that song again and you put your passion into it, you put your feelings, your emotion into it, that's when you start playing like very well. That's when you reach your flow state of music, I would say. So my professional violinist career consists of playing at weddings, venues, teaching music, just pretty much anything with the violin related and making money, which is, you know, a lot of gigs, and a lot of teaching. So that supports my dream job in a big way by like confidence of performance. I'm performing out there, and that gives me a lot of confidence if I do well. And actually, it's better to fail a couple times than to win every time, because if you don't fail a couple times, then you can never fully get confidence because you can't, see where you came from and see how you improved, and the formula for how to practice and get better, and that's confidence. So confidence uh then bleeds into every aspect of my life, which will be confidence in my decisions of my record label and artist management, and also just even in the studio, just the concept of music, and how it works, and all that stuff. I already have an idea from, what I'm saying, I already have knowledge from that. So the salary for professional violinists varies very heavily. Depends on how you market yourself, what areas you want to market yourself in, who um, all depends on the price of the gig. So you could anywhere from $200, $300 to like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Like what I'm saying, it just depends on the longevity of your playing, how many songs, if you're the main person playing, it just all depends pretty much. But I would say the professional violinist parallel career isn't it's not too safe of a job, but it is something that I can definitely just plus here, plus there, once a month, But if it's $1,000 and whatever, or if it's 500 and I do it every 2 weeks or something, I find a gig, everything adds up. So an inspirational story for y'all is Scooter Braun. He actually put on Justin Bieber. He found Justin Bieber. He discovered him. And he is a very good example of starting small and getting global success. So he's just a very inspirational person in the industry when it comes to managers of artists and such. So the next story is about, or inspirational person is L.A. Reid, and he actually put on Usher. If you know about anything with Justin Bieber, Usher, and Reid, pretty much Usher put on Justin Bieber, or helped boost his career. And L.A. Reid is the guy who put, Usher in the spotlight. So kind of all everyone's working together at the end of the day. I mean, not actually, but you know what I mean. So he is demonstrating long-term artist building strategies. So building an artist from 0 listeners to 1 million, and and how different strategies and how to do that for different people in different genres, and just all that different good stuff. So I'd say that in a reflection of my careers, the both of them that I chose, I feel like that they're very well connected, and that I will have a well set future when it comes to my dream if I actually pursue those two things, with my violin and as a studio manager. I can definitely grow a lot of confidence in networking in that area, because a big thing with record labels is just it's simply knowing the marketers. What I'm saying, you can't just open a record label and be like, we're in business now. Well, you have to have money, you have to have you have to know marketing companies, and you have to pretty much be the marketing company. So you have to construct all of that stuff. So it takes time, and I think that with time and doing different skills and experience sets, and the industry and studio life, I'll be able to eventually achieve my goal. So thank you so much for listening in to this presentation. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.